The word syntax comes from Greek and literally means a putting together or arrangement. In earlier approaches, there was an attempt to produce an accurate description of the order or sequence of arrangement of elements in the linear structure of a sentence. In more recent attempts to analyze structure, there is a greater focus on the underlying system of rules we use to produce or generate sentence. Syntactic rules. If we write rules for the creation of well-formed structures, we have to check that those rules, when applied logically, won't also lead to ill-formed structures. In English, we praise prepositions by putting the preposition before the noun phrase. However, we must be careful to formulate the correct rule. A noun phrase can consist of a noun, a pronoun, or a combination of an article and a noun. Therefore, a more correct grammatical rule would be to put the preposition before the noun phrase, which consists of a proper noun, a pronoun, or a combination of an article with a noun. Examples of well-formed structures are near London, with me, near a tree, and with the dog. Note that structures like near tree or with the dog are ungrammatical. Using the rules, we can form well-formed prepositional phrases in English. Generative grammar is a set of syntactic rules that can generate a large number of sentence structures from a small, limited set of rules. In this grammar, a prepositional phrase in English, for example, consists of a preposition followed by a noun phrase. With this rule, an infinite number of different English phrases can be generated. The goal of syntactic analysis is to have a small, finite set of rules that can produce a variety of well-formed structures. Generative grammar not only describes but also generates sentence structures. It can also explain how some phrases or sentences that seem superficially different are closely related, and how some phrases or sentences that seem similar are actually significantly different.
Deep and surface structure. The distinction between them is different in their surface structure, that is, the different syntactic forms they have as individual English sentences. This underlying level were the basic components, or noun phrase plus verb plus noun phrase, shared by the two sentences, can be represented. It's called their deep structure. Structural ambiguity. For example, Annie had an umbrella and she bumped into a man with it. The other expresses the idea that Annie bumped into a man and the man happened to carrying an umbrella. Now, these two different versions of events can actually be expressed in the same surface structure form. Annie bumped into a man with an umbrella. This sentence provides an example of structural ambiguity.
Syntactic analysis. In syntactic analysis, we use some conventional abbreviations for the part of speech. For examples are N as noun, art as article, edge as adjective, and V as verb. We also use abbreviations for phrase, such as NP or noun praise and VP as verb praise. Praise structure rules. What we have started to create is a set of syntactic rules called praise structure rules. The first rule in the following set of simple and necessarily incomplete praise structure rules capture a very general rule of English sentence structure. The second rule states that a noun phrase we write as either an article plus an optical adjective plus a noun. In the third rule, a verb phrase rewrites as a verb plus a noun phrase. And here we go, the lexical rules. The first rule in the following set states that a proper noun rewrites as John or Mary. Example grammatical and ungrammatical sentence. First, a dog followed the boy. Dog followed boy. The second, you saw it. The third, John saw the big dog. Tree diagram. One of the best ways to create a visual representation, we can use the symbols introduced earlier to label parts of the tree. For example, we can use a similar tree diagram to represent the more complex structure of an English verb phrase. Then we can put together tree diagrams for whole sentences. Notice that essentially the same basic tree diagram structures and have 6 examples.
Hey,